So this is Vermella Harrison, and down there is Steelworks, and across the street here is the proposed EPA Toxic Sludge Plant for the dewatering of Agent Orange. And you can see the sun is, It's the public service building. It goes all the way down to the PAT station. So all this side here is going to be, is proposed to be used. You can see the train in the background as well. This is now a residential community, and this public service property was cleaned up. $367 to $400 million. So I'm going to cross over to show you the buildings. Sorry for the sun, but I'm here at 6 o'clock at night, and so you can see they planted trees, and this is Vermella. Of course, we've got the Red Bulls in Harrison, and you can hear the train. It's the path. Can't see it because the sun backlit. So this is Vermella. Yeah, loud car. And that's Steelworks. So on August 29th, 2022, I was at a Harrison redevelopment meeting, and Mayor Fife, after I was questioning him about lack of green space, made a statement that I've put online several places, that EPA is going to use the property of public service and to dewater toxic, he said, dredge, but it's sludge. It's basically the same thing. So I immediately was like, couldn't believe what I heard. And then I had the time and was actually recording the meeting that was on Zoom for some reason. Usually you don't do that. But that meeting, somehow, someone was telling me to record. So, and then since denied that statement, and I've been going to meetings for 2 years straight, trying to get them to change the opposed EPA's plan because of this here. These buildings, they go back. I'm going to go down that street. You go all the way to the Wyldes, the Cobalt Lofts, and you've got Red Bulls. Why the mayor and James Doran, who's councilman, has several titles, including Harrison Public Schools Director, used to be the superintendent, why they would allow EPA to come to Harrison with a toxic sludge plant is perplexing to me, to put it nicely. So here's the area that EPA wants to use. This has been decontaminated and is no longer a contaminated property, and it should not be used by EPA. They can go up or down to South Kearney, and there are properties in South Kearney that's industrial that they could use to build a state-of-the-art plant, but this is not where the plant should be. You can see the distance between the plant and the buildings. Just across the street. Why would EPA, who has assisted in helping clean up Harrison and these properties here, want to have a sludge plant here? rather than in South Kearney. I don't know, but maybe it's easier for them, but that's not the point. If there's a discharge, you have hundreds of people that are in this residential community, and they would be exposed to Agent Orange, which is highly toxic and causes birth defects, causes all sorts of cancers. Google it. Why would they want to risk that? And there's a plan to have a rebirth in Harrison and create this, what we have today. It took 26 years. I can't stand by and allow what Ray McDonough, the late mayor of Harrison, dream, and also council members, Councilman Selma Milan, good friend of mine. You can also read the story on how James Doran sent emails with the flyer and the letter, and he called both Councilman Milan and me liars. We didn't lie. We were telling the truth. He was lying, and he's an educator. And Mayor Fife went along with him. He initially told the truth. So we have just a beautiful community now. Just came from the police pizza with a cop event, and they're also a diverse group of people at that event. And this is a residential community that I ask the EPA to update their plan, go into South Kearney. At least there's a buffer. There's no buffer here if something gets discharged from over there. As you can see, I walked across the street. It's not a big distance. And they have plans to emergency plans, ear monitoring, and why? Because it's toxic. But we don't want to be there. We at least want a buffer. So you can see, this is not the industrial Harrison that my father worked in. I'm standing on the ground where my dad made a living, Charles F. Guyon, where in World War II, Crucible Steel made all sorts of steel to help the United States and Allies win World War II, stop the Nazis from taking over. So this has an historic significance, but it's no longer industrial. It's residential, and you can see. So, Vermella, Steelworks, Cobalt, Wyldes, and then you have other buildings that are already approved. You also have Urby on the other side of the path station, Harrison Commons. This is a vibrant residential community. You put a toxic sludge plant across the street, and that ruins everything. Who's going to live across from a toxic sludge plant? This brings in right now $14 million in pilots, payments in lieu of taxes, and it is increasing every time new units are rented, and it's a significant number. It's allowed the town to hire police officers, get equipment, firefighters get equipment, and also provide salary increases to everybody that deserves it on the town of Harrison for doing great work. But if you put a toxic sludge plant, that jeopardizes everything, and also jeopardizes the investment that was made by builders who came to Harrison when this property here was all contaminated. and they deserve, as stakeholders, not to have a toxic sludge plant next to their property. You can see the Cobalt Pocket Park, and there's the cop event that's winding down. To me, as a kid that grew up in Harrison, who still has property in Harrison for my parents, it's devastating to think that there'll be a toxic sludge plant a block away from where I'm standing right now. This is the Wyldes. Beautiful inside. And great people that I met at the pizza with the cop. So diverse. Speaking different languages in English, and talking about how they like Harrison. I hope that they see this video and come out. There's a meeting on August 27th, 2024, and there's Vermella, the side entrance. Hope that the community lets EPA know that this is not a good idea. It may be easy for them, or easier, but they cannot come in Harrison and risk what has been taken 26 years to accomplish. And there's more to come. Still lots here. They have approvals. There are going to be more buildings, but those are in jeopardy because of the sludge plant. We cannot allow EPA to do this. I ask you to join the fight to stop the sludge in Harrison. Stop the sludge plant in Harrison, and let this accomplishment here stand, and then there'll be even more buildings here. And for those soccer fans, there's Red Bulls. And all of these buildings have special windows for the noise. And there are some issues with traffic and all that, but people can live with that. But putting a toxic sludge plant also jeopardizes people who go to the Red Bull Stadium if something happens. And I can't understand why they allow it next to the Northeast Corridor, which is that the path takes Amtrak, New Jersey Transit. There's a discharge. It's right at the edge. Train service stops. I'm not sure why EPA has not proposed to go into South Kearney. That is industrial. It's just down the road here. It has rail service. It has connections that are direct to turnpike, major highways. So, enough of my tour of Harrison. And I thank you for watching, and I hope you go to stopsludge.com and visit yourharrison.com, website that I set up, not just because of the sludge, but just to bring the community together, the north and the south of Harrison. Thanks for listening.